Okay, we're getting ready to fit this cross shaft now. So what I've done is I've put my little homemade gasket on there to try and stop the oil going down into the clutch, and I've put some lube on these. Sorry, find the camera on this bit of the shaft here and this bit of the shaft there, because that's where there's a needle roller bearing and an oil seal where the slightly larger bit of the shaft is. So I'm just simply going to introduce it here through that needle roller bearing, through the first oil seal, off it goes, right the way across the engine, and then start pushing it all the way home. And that is where I'm going to leave it. And I'll tell you why, because this is actually the second time I've assembled this, and I did it the first time, and the next thing I'm going to show you I forgot to do. So I've had to take it apart again. So I'm just going to move the camera around the other side and show the important thing that I forgot before. Okay, I hope you can see this okay. So that's the end of the shaft coming out across the gearbox. And the first thing I need to do is there's this little spacer. In the back there's a needle roller bearing, and that's already in there, and we just need to fit that little spacer. Okay, now this is the thing I forgot to do. You've then got the actual sort of mechanism that connects the cross shaft with the actual gear change here, and it's like it's a little bracket with lots of splines there inside, and those splines are going to engage with the splines on the cross shaft, and it's got a little like top hat bush with two flats. Where my fingers are, that's where the flats are, and those flats engage with the flats of the jaws. And here's the thing: is you have to put that in. It's a bloody awkward thing to get in that. So I'm just moving that shaft back, because what I forgot to do is I forgot to put this in before. There we go. I forgot to put that linkage in before, and once the shaft is in, there's no way that linkage is going on. Okay, so you just need to put that linkage on there. I'm going to put lots of lube around here, because as I say, I find it doesn't get much lube. Okay, and then now it's roughly in, but not fully in, but at least it's in position. That sort of linkage. I'm going to go back round the other side of to the primary chain. Okay, so the shaft is only loosely in that linkage. It's not fully in. If it was fully in, I wouldn't be able to turn the foot because the splines would be engaged. But the linkage is in enough so that it's in the right position. Whoops. And now, pulls back out, I can now hopefully get my linkage, this bracket which holds the cross shaft in place. These are the two bolts, and they've got a little, if I didn't mention before, they've got a lock tab on the outside as well. Okay, they're done up, and then we'll see if we can do up the lock tabs. There. Okay, nuts are done up. Now, I think you can see that. Okay, these two nuts are done up and lock tabbed over. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move the foot. I don't know if the camera's in the right position. Right, so the splines are not engaged at the other end. They're nearly engaged, that's why this is now clicking round. And what I've done is, hopefully you can see that, but let's have a look there, the bottom of let's get this in the dead right position, yeah. So the bottom of the foot is now in line with the centre of that mounting bolt. Okay, and that's where it needs to be. The camera's a bit lower than we're looking up a bit, and that's why when it's in exactly parallel, you can see it's in the right place. So we know the foot is now in the right place vis-a-vis That's where it needs to be. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go around the other side of the gearbox and push that little linkage onto the splines. There, now I hope you can see that. So this is the linkage with the splines on it, but it's deliberately not home. But, oops, okay, I'm going to try and encourage it to go home now, over the splines. There we go. There. And I'm just going to go around the other side, back round, just to check that that foot is in the right place. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So the bottom of that foot is in line with the bottom bolt over there. And we've now engaged this with the spline so it can't move. So the foot, if you like, or the cross shaft is now indexed. That's where that foot has to be. But yeah, what I did before, I fitted the shaft and then tried to put this linkage on. No way. You have to like introduce the shaft through the linkage. You know, put them both on at the same time. Get the shaft inside the linkage and then you can sort it from then on. Okay. Let's do that now. Okay, and there we go. I'll put some more lube on here. Okay, and I'll put some on the bearing at the back because I do find there's not much, it doesn't need much lubrication in there, but I do find it does get dry in there. And hopefully, hopefully you can see the bottom of the foot is directly in line with the center of that bolt, and that is the foot indexed. So the cross shaft is now in.